Our revenue's up almost 40%. Our net profit has gone from a negative to a 9% positive, which is incredible. My name is Lynda Gordey, and my father and I run a insulation, drywall, and painting contracting company in Calgary, Alberta. Before coming on with Forzani Business Solutions, my dad and I and the company were struggling for a few years. Lots of stress, lots of sleepless nights, lots of conversations about whether we should continue, whether we should go another 3 months. Do we just shut down and cut our losses? It was pretty rough for a couple of years. We weren't making any money. We kept losing revenue. Loss kept increasing. Didn't matter how many times we looked at the numbers and talked to the accountants. There just wasn't anything that we felt we could do any longer. It felt like the end of the road, which was very difficult considering my father spent the last 30 odd years building this company. And the potential was for him to walk away with nothing. Yeah, it was pretty bad. I was more worried actually about his health as well. He was going to make it through. The call to Greg was a last-ditch effort to save the company. I had never before dealt with a business coach. I thought they were useless and a waste of money because I thought I knew everything about my company and my business. First, the phone call was based on that there's nothing to lose. But after talking with Greg for a few minutes, I realized that there was a little bit of hope with us and what he was saying. I tried to tell him our industry is different because we're in the trades. And the one thing he said was, it doesn't make a difference what industry you're in, we can help you. Greg had just that feeling of hope and determination about him that's what made me decide, I think. Oh, the difficult decisions, there's been a lot of them. And a lot of them I didn't want to make. A lot of them my dad and I both struggled with because we've done things a certain way for 30 years. But I think the biggest decision that we had to make was changing our margins. It had to be a certain way. Margin had to be a certain percentage for so long. We didn't know where else to move. But once we started creeping those up, it made such a huge impact. Even 1 or 2% has made a big difference. And then changing our customer base has been huge. Greg helped me realize the customers that we had weren't the right ones for us. So we had to change our entire strategy when it came to getting new customers. There's been a few arguments with my dad over the changes in the company. And then I finally realized I would just tell him what we're doing. And thankfully it's all worked out. But there's been some butting of heads, some very long conversations, some heated conversations. But every decision that we've made has made a positive impact on Fairways. Our revenue's up almost 40%. Our net profit has gone from a negative to a 9% positive, which is incredible. Our practices are more refined. Our hiring system is now actually in place. We have one. We've got a great team working with us. It's been amazing, the difference that we've seen in 14 months. Despite all the stress and the hard work and the tough decisions, it's been worth every minute of it. I've been doing Fairways month ends for 15 years. I knew the numbers. I knew what our profits were, what our losses were, what our cost of goods were. I knew it all, but I didn't understand how you could change 1% here and 0.5% there all adds up and it hits your bottom line. And I should have known that. But it took having these sessions with Greg to really wrap my head around it. So I'm grateful to Greg for showing me the right way to take a look at my numbers and my statement. So I knew if I invested personally into this program, it wouldn't leave me any choice but to make it work. Oh, it's more than paid for itself. The money that I've spent on these sessions with Greg is the drop in the bucket compared to what we're sitting at now in terms of profit, net profit, knowledge, new experiences, and just a whole new way of running our company. I don't even feel it's an expense. I feel it's an investment. No, it's pretty spectacular, actually. what's happened. The results from the last 14 months working with Meg are more than I ever thought possible. I was hoping just to break even at the end of this year, to have an almost 10% profit. Net profit is beyond my wildest expectations. My dad wanted to make sure I had the numbers right. He didn't believe it at first till I laid it out for him and I showed him. I think he was in shock for a few minutes. If anybody's looking for a business coach, a partner along the way, you guys are the number one recommendation I could offer.